I first met Wink, I was staying at the Starlight Lounge in Las Vegas for New Year's. After a few moments of watching the show, I recognized him as the child actor from the 1980s sitcom, What Would the Neighbors Say? When I told him I was interested in making a film about him, his reply was, "Hey, any publicity is good publicity." Wink Musselman was born Anson Musselman in Los Angeles in 1972. At an early age, his parents recognized his glitzy personality and began taking him to commercial auditions. By the age of 7, he was already in several commercials. In 1981, his big break came. He landed a sitcom pilot with the help of his agent, Tony Z.
Back then his name was Anson. I mean, right off I knew he was destined for greatness. It's just, he needed a name. Something that would better capture his personality. That's when I came up with Wink.
What did I think of those years? Those were amazing years. Amazing. What Would the Neighbors Say was an incredible show. I was a star. I am a star. Wink is gold.
1988. The show was canceled, Wink. What happened?
'88 was a really rough year for Wink. Wink had a rough time. The writing on the show really went downhill. My voice was changing, and the producers, you know, they still wanted a kid. I had this masculine, rich voice, you know. That's life. And also I was having some real problems distinguishing my TV family from my family at home, you know.
What do you mean by that, exactly?
I wasn't sure which... Turn off the cameras.
What Would the Neighbors Say attracted a diverse audience with its witty portrayal of a precocious white child adopted by a prominent black family.
Back when the show was canceled, Wink's real-life parents were going through this much-publicized divorce. Oh, and then there's the damn custody battle. I mean, it was absolutely disgusting. No, Wink felt like a pawn in his parents' sick game of greed. I mean, what can I do? As his agent, and as his friend, I told Wink he'd stay with me for a while.
For the next 3 years, Wink lived with Tony Z in this one-bedroom apartment in Hollywood. Wink hasn't spoken to his parents since then. Wink's longtime friend, Bryce Beckham, who played Wesley on the hit TV series Mr. Belvedere, was with Wink through his troubled times.
Growing up on Mr. Belvedere, I think Wink and I, both being on TV, were able to relate to each other better because we both understood the pressures that come along with that sort of life, being in the spotlight. Of course, he had some really severe problems there for a while that I didn't know anything about. Yeah, I mean, he had, that thing where he couldn't tell the difference between his TV family and his real family. It was weird. I shouldn't even get into it because he doesn't like to talk about it.
Do you have a drinking problem?
I may have had problems in the past, sure. You know, I think everyone's had problems. Before a show, sure, I may have a few cocktails, you know. I don't see anything wrong with that. During a show, a fan may buy me a couple cocktails. I see nothing wrong with that either. You know, I never refuse my fans. During a break, sure, I'll have a drink or two. I may indulge myself. There might be an after party, you know, but,
You wouldn't consider that a problem?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, I consider that more of a privilege, really.
Wink and I had some pretty wild times. He was, see, the best thing about Wink was he was the best to party with because he was totally, completely out of control and just didn't care. He would drink an entire bottle of whiskey, smoke whatever, pop some pills, go throw up, and then come back for more. I mean, he really knew how to have a good time.
In 1991, Wink was arrested for indecent exposure and possession of cocaine. He checked into the Betty Ford Clinic where he stayed for the next 6 months. After checking out in May 1992, he mysteriously disappeared from Los Angeles for 2 years.
I was working here in Vegas, and I get a call from Wink from a phone booth in Albuquerque. Man, heard from the guy in over 2 years. Jesus, I don't think anybody had. Tells me he wants to come back in the spotlight. He's got this idea for this song and dance routine. Hell, now that I was here in Vegas, I mean, you were gonna do something great.
What do you think he was doing during those 2 years?
I just needed some time to pick up the pieces. Some time away from the public. But he had to come back. It's life showbiz.